One of the things that you want to do when you're building a team is you have to have clear objectives. You know, when I talk to small businesses, it's amazing how they're not giving the, and I'm not going to say they, I will say we, you know, how we've come up with this is we've learned to do a lot of things wrong and figured out how to do them right.
Yep.
But really get clear on what are the outcomes and then hold them accountable to the outcomes. We have a really simple coaching model. And so when I'm talking to a team member, I'm looking for three things. One, if there was a breakdown, I need to know were they clear? Were they clear about my directive? And if they were clear, then I'll go to the next thing, which is A, and A is accountability. So did I hold them accountable to that result I wanted? Or did I just forget about them and come back, you know, 4 weeks later and go, hey, why didn't you do this? And then the last one is T, which is the training. Did I train them how to do the job? So many jobs right now are you're getting baptism by fire. We're just throwing you in and hoping that it works out. So if you weren't clear with them, you weren't holding them accountable, and we didn't give them any training, then that's my fault. And then I'm responsible. But if I've done those three things, then corrective behavior needs to be put in place immediately. You cannot do it 4 weeks from now, or have you been in those meetings like plan and reviews with your staff and you're going, okay, well, you don't do this, you don't clean your dishes, you come in late, your projects are always, you know, messy, whatever that is. That's like gathering evidence. So if you address it right in the moment, you can correct right in the moment, then we could do something about it.
Yep.
Huge difference. So we call that the CAT system. Clarity, accountability, and training.
And that's great. And I think the only thing business owners have to remember when they do this is you have to give the person that you're delegating to or empowering not only the responsibility for it, but the authority as well. And so many businesses today, I've seen them have problems with people that they put into key positions. And it's so easy if you don't have both responsibility and authority just to say, it's not my job.
You got to have fun stuff,
Yep.
right? Team building. That's huge for a team. I mean, we met at John's house with some new salespeople that we were bringing on, and we just had a social. And it was, you know, very low key, couple hours. You know, you don't want to freak your team out about keeping them, you know, out late unless we're having lots of fun. But those are the types of things, those team building things that really bring a team together, that solidify it. Because face it, during the day, we're busy, we've got stuff to do. We're not learning about your grandkids, or we're not learning about what you do for fun. So social events and team building events are imperative. I want to talk about budget though, because the reality, a lot of us small businesses don't have a big budget. But I want to put something in the space. As a growing business, you need to put a minimum of 5% back into your employees. So if you're doing $100,000, you want 5% of that $100,000 and put it back into your employees. But let's talk about some creative ways, because some of them are going, well, I'm not even there yet. So what can we do if we have no budget?
Well, you know, ask the employees. What's going to matter to them is what they feel is important. And I've always asked the employees directly, you know, what would you like from me? How can I best support you in your job? What would make the place more fun to show up every day? And let them tell you, and it's going to shock you how 99% of everything they give you have no costs whatsoever.
So give me an example of that. What would be one thing?
Well, one, for example, take a break whenever you want. And I find out when you tell them that, they never take a break. It's amazing. Or I've had bosses before that say, you know, we have a policy here that you get 15 minutes in break time, and I am not going to be a dictator. I don't sit there with a stopwatch. I trust you that you will not abuse that right. And every time I've seen that, I've actually timed people. I've never seen one person take the full 15 minutes, and I've never seen them go over.
We have one client who has a time clock that actually the way that you time in and out is your hand, because he was having the opposite problem. You know, everyone was clocking in for everybody else. He said, you know what, Susie, they can't leave their hand at home, so no one can cheat for them, which is great. So there's some ways, there's several ways. If you look at our website, for example, we've got lots of education on there. Go into the Ask the Experts part and use that education as a format. Also involve your team. You know, you're a masterful trainer, but we also have other people on the team that could train us on something else. You know, what are the systems and operational procedures that the front desk person does or the support person does? Also volunteer at other organizations. they're looking for people to volunteer and staff those events. So you have the opportunity to go to really high-powered training at a no cost.
Very good. So again, let's do a quick recap. What are the main things people need to know if they're really going to build a world-class team?
One is you got to have clarity. Two, accountability. And the third is training. Making sure that you hold them accountable to their greatness. And remind them awfully? Remind them often of how great they are. Acknowledgement and public acknowledgement can go a long way.
Yeah, people like that pat on the back, don't they?
They sure do.
They need it.
So thanks for joining us today, and we talked about how to build a world-class team, and we look forward to talking to you again.